Hey everybody, it's Boardman21, and today's build's going to be the speed running Shield Rush build on the Sentinel. We'll be playing it as a Forge Guard, but you can do it as any of the three classes. The reason we're doing it on Forge Guard is for us, that's the most tanky, but we will try a Paladin version later with Holy Aura, but Forge Guard has it just the way that we want it, and basically this is only a monolith build. It's not really for the arena. It is if you change some skills around, but for us, Shield Rush does really good in the monolith because it just lets you keep charging until you choose not to, until you hit a wall. And then we have double lunge set up so that as soon as it's done and you got to make a corner, as long as there's mobs around, you can lunge, boom, boom, and you're right there and you can do another straight shot. As you can see in the gameplay behind me. On top of that, all of the damage is going to come from a little bit retaliation, but mostly from Vengeance. Vengeance will be our damage skill, so basically you're just getting to the end of the map as fast as possible and then killing the boss relatively quickly. The damage is pretty good. You'll also have retaliation up, so the more mobs that you bring with you, the better. And we will be doing another build right after this where we change out Shield Rush for Warpath, where we're only using Warpath to drag all of the mobs from the beginning of the map all the way to the end, and then instead of Vengeance, we're going to use Rive to kill them really fast. But we'll get into that one later. Now this one is really, really tanky, and it goes really far. Now a lot of you are thinking right off the bat, well, if you don't kill everything along the way, you don't get as much from the chest. This is like the opposite of the Death Lich build. Instead of killing everything along the way and getting really good rewards and going far, this one you're just going to the end, killing the boss ASAP, you don't die, and you get a really big streak, and by the time you break like the 50 streak, you start getting lots of drops anyway. It's just how the RNG works with their coding and the fact that your item drop is just much higher at that high streak. You can stop and kill things along the way. Maybe after every shield rush you just stop and kill everything real quick and keep going, but if you really just want to get the Monolith of Fate the fastest you can, and you can go all the way up to, I've gotten to 110 streak with this. You just shield rush, lunge, shield rush, lunge, lunge, shield rush, and it's super fast. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the skills. For skills, we're going to be running Vengeance, Shield Rush, Ring of Shields, Lunge, and Abyssal Echoes. For Vengeance, we have it set up for as much attack speed as we can get while getting the maximum, or close to the maximum damage reduction. We don't have the extra 10% in Zealots, but we also needed good hit damage from it since it will be our main damaging skill. So we have 6 points in Executioner, 6 points in Boister, 1 point in Double Ripostle, and 7 points in Rapid Strikes. For Shield Rush, we just wanted this to go as far as we could go. We did take the 2 points in Protective Speed to reduce the damage taken while we are rushing. It's always a good idea to at least hit with 1 Vengeance before taking off if there's mobs around, just so that you have that other damage reduction from Vengeance while you're going super fast as well. We also have 6 points in Rush Mastery for 120% mana efficiency, and after that, there wasn't really much to do with the build. We didn't want to add a return to the starting position, so we couldn't go to the right. We don't care about the damage it does. That's not what it's for. So after you put in the 6 points in Rush Mastery and the 2 points in Protective Speed, you can do anything that you want with the points. This was our first time using Shield Rush, so what we did was 3 points in Warrior's Entrance, 3 points in Consuming Path, 1 point in Descent of the Void, 1 point in Dark Regression, because Void Beams just seemed cool, so we have a couple of those, and 4 points in Will Breaker for more hit damage versus full health. Now again, the damage of this thing doesn't really matter, but the Void Beams look cool, so we just went with it. For Ring of Shields, we're again using this for the armor and protections, as that is how your defense is going to be set up, but we also wanted as much block chance as that also has to do with our defense. Now if you don't want to run Ring of Shields, which I recommend that you do as a Forge Guard because they benefit greatly from it, if you're a Paladin or a Void Knight, I would recommend using Sigils instead, because Sigils can give you more block chance than Ring of Shields can, and Sigils can always be active, whereas Ring of Shields, unless you're Forge Guard, doesn't really always have the activity of being up the last 4 seconds. So we have 2 points in Reinforcement, 2 points in Healing Shields, 5 points in Phalanx, 2 points in Tempered Steel, 5 points in Defensive Shields, 2 points in Banding, and 2 points in Enduring Defense. For Lunge, you can set this up basically however you want. However, we do like the critical strike and damage you get from initiative. We do like the fact that you can be invincible while lunging, and you want the extra charge so that you can do a double lunge, and both those cooldowns will be cool down by the time you're done using Shield Rush, and that's how we get from one side of the map to the other super fast. You can go Lunge, Lunge, and then you can do Shield Rush while that recharges for another 2, and as soon as you come out of Shield Rush, you do another double Lunge and then back into Shield Rush. For this build, we have 3 points in Into the Fray, 1 point into Double Strike, 3 points in Tactician, 4 points in Forge On, 1 point in Unstoppable, 1 point in Initiative, 5 points in Avenger's Charge, and 2 points in Deadly Aim. For Abyssal Echoes, we do not have this on autocast. We do have it as an instacast, but not as autocast. You don't want to go through your mana. You want your mana to stay full while you have Ring of Shields going, Lunge, and Shield Rush going all the way to the end of the map. Once you've hit an area where you want to actually kill mobs, then you just hold down the button. In our case, we just hold down E and we hold down T. So we're doing Abyssal Echoes as an instacast while we use Vengeance. And because of that, since we're not going to be super mana heavy on it, since we're not using it while we're actually just running through the map, we're just using it at the end, your mana will stay relatively full. As soon as you use it, you will be using Vengeance at the same time to keep your mana full. So we have it as a very expensive skill, but we have it to where we're doing as many recasts as possible to really benefit from the maximum amount of global melee damage that you can get. So for points, we have 4 points in Abyssal Infusion, 2 points in Echomancer, 1 point in Temporal Echo, 4 points in Abyssal Cadence, 1 point in Final Echo, 1 point in Mental Echoes, 4 points in Reality's Dirge, and 3 points in Abyssal Remains. For passives, we have 30 plus points in the Sentinel base class, with 5 points in Overwhelm, 5 points in Counterattack, and 4 points in Banish to maximize upon the retaliation, 1 point in Fearless, 5 points in Gladiator, 5 points in Time and Faith for that mana back and health gained on Vengeance use, and 5 points in Blade Master for 30% more attack speed. We have 15 points in Void Knight, with 5 points in Temporal Corruption, 8 points in World Eater, and 2 points in Patient Doom. 2 points in Paladin, with 2 points in Honor. And 66 points in Forge Guard, with 10 points in Battle Hardened, 8 points in Steel Aegis, 10 points in Rattling Block, this is your main defense. 1 point in Duelist, 8 points in Regenerator, 5 points in Flawless Defender, 4 points in Shield Crafter, 10 points in Retaliation, and 10 points in Lethal Strikes. For items, the idols that you're wanting to run if you are doing this with Vengeance instead of Rive as the main skill are going to be any of these idols that give you increased damage with Vengeance. I believe it rolls up to what? 54%, so you can get up to 200% more multiplicative damage, which means its crits hit really, really hard. And then the other thing you're going to want is mana efficiency with void spells or increased armor. You only have room for one of those. You don't have to have it, but it does help if you do. We'll be running 2 uniques. We have the Undisputed Axe, and the reason we went with that is because it has the most one-handed melee physical damage that you can get in the game. In fact, 47 plus 49 is more than the Savna has on it as a base two-handed weapon, so it's huge. It also comes with more melee attack speed, it comes with overkill damage leech to his health, and then you can get an additional 200% physical damage if you hit enemies with an attack while they are bleeding, as long as it's a melee hit, of course, and Vengeance will count for that. We also are running Orion's Eye, so we have 100% of our void damage will be taken as fire. So the other thing you'll need, since you don't want to stack any void, necrotic, or poison, is you're going to want the conversion. So we have that on both our helm and our chest. We're going to have the necrotic and the poison damage taken as physical on both of those, so you can get up to a maximum of 87% through crafted pieces, or if you have a Sunforged helm, that can have up to 40% of both of those for you, which is more than you can get here. With that, you can get up to 92% if you got perfect rules. For our shield, we have Set Glancing Blow, additional block chance, reduced damage taken on a block, and elemental damage. For the other 3 jewelry pieces, we went with strength on all of them, we went for hit damage, and we just went for protections. On the relic, you couldn't get life on hit, so we did increase physical damage so that we could try and make vengeance do a lot more damage, try and make up for that one-handed weapon. And then we put strength on basically everything that we could. It was more important than the defense because you get most of the defense from just having a really high block chance. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some gameplay.